So I'm back hunting at one of my not so secret spots, and it hasn't been producing lately, and I think that's my fault. I think I was a little bit too open with some people about where I go and look for teeth. Even bringing a couple of guys out here, and I think word got out, because one time I came down here and it was just absolutely loaded with footprints that weren't mine. So I think that's my fault, and I should have known better, but I learned. So I've gotten kind of lucky tonight. This is a piece of an angustiduns. It's kind of the majority of the root there. Steam coming off my hands. I just rinsed these off in the creek, so my hands are wet and it's cold out, so I got steam coming off my hands. It's pretty funny. It's got a pretty bad tooth break there, poor guy. But the majority of the root there, and the tooth would be here, and that was would have been just kind of a smaller version of the whole one I found here a couple of months ago. So that's one broken. This little tiny guy, I got some dolphins right behind me. Oh yeah, dolphins swimming around out there. You can hear them come up and breathe. They sound like a human breathing out as when they come up from a pool. Sounds just like a human. It's kind of eerie. Got this tiny little guy. He's cute. Got this one. It's broken, unfortunately, but I think that's a snaggletooth. It's pretty wild. The serrations on that. But the root's broken, unfortunately. And this is a small megalodon. Now, they estimate the megalodons in this area are about 30 million years old, but that's a small one. It's a small megalodon. You can tell by the root that the root is straight across, thicker. It's a small megalodon. The biggest megalodon I've ever found, unfortunately it wasn't whole, like all the teeth tonight that I found that were all broken, but the biggest one I found, the biggest shard anyway I should say, was stuck right in this wall right there, and it was just stuck there. And of course this is where they're all falling out of, so all the ones that we find are falling out of this substrate, strata, I don't know what you call it. It's falling out of here and it's falling down into the mud, and then over time it gets washed down all the way down eventually into the creek, you know, and settles under mud, and there it'll be until the next time we have some kind of catastrophic change that moves the creek or whatever. You know, these things have been laying here and probably moved around several times over 30 million years. Who knows how high the water was here where we're standing. I think it was probably about 100 feet deep here at one point. Right now we're about 15 miles in from the ocean, maybe a little bit less, maybe 12 miles in from the ocean. And where I'm standing is I think was under about 100 feet of water, 100 feet of ocean at one time, and it'll be up here again. So yeah, so you know, this erodes because of the power of the water, the creek coming in and out, the tides coming in and out, the rain coming in and out. It erodes, and then the stuff that's trapped in the dirt from millions and millions of years falls out, and we're able to find it. So that's how it works. So one of the guys that I hunt with and fish with and hunt shark teeth with, He always says when we're hunting, he's like, man, it would be so nice to have a big one just screaming at you, just laying there. Why can't I ever find a big one just screaming at you and laying there? And so Troy, this is for you. This is how I found this. I haven't touched it yet, but this here is a pretty big shark tooth. Again, keeping with the theme of the night, it's broken, unfortunately, but it's a pretty big shark tooth, and I don't think it gets much more screamy than that. So I'm gonna pick it up here with you guys. So I'm not sure if it was or if it is. I think it's an angustiduns again, which angustiduns is actually the precursor to a megalodon. It's the distant cousin of the megalodon, probably 10 million years older or so. I think this is an angustiduns, but could be a meg. It's hard to tell. You'd need to see the whole tooth to be able to know for sure, I think, at least for me. But that's pretty wild to have it just laying there right on top of the mud like that, just like Troy wants. He's got one screaming at him, but unfortunately Troy's not with me tonight. So I'm gonna wash this off a little bit. The mud is really nasty here. And I've seen some just massive alligators literally swimming right where I'm standing. So I'm always a little bit cautious about splashing around at the edge of the water, especially at night. But getting this nice and clean. Pretty tooth. It's pretty colors. It's pretty amazing that this, what is essentially a rock now, was a shark tooth 30 some million years ago, a big one at that. This shark was probably 30 feet, maybe more. Big fish. Big fish. All right, that's it.